6:30. And I decided to get all my tools out this morning. And I thought we'd have a little bit of fun. It's a little chilly here. Olive is ready to weave, for sure. And I've got some coffee this morning. One of my favorite little flowers that I keep out here on my back porch. So I guess you'll just have to sit with me. And I even have some communion. I decided to go with chocolate granola. I think that's perfect because I wanted to bring a little bit of joy to the weaving this morning. So I thought it would be good to just have a little bit of fun, even though it's a little chilly. Birds are singing in the background, but I thought I'd do this one seated. Brought one of my coffee mugs that says life is a series of 1,000 tiny miracles. And I've got a very full, this is a huge mug of coffee to get us going this morning. My tree of life over here to the right that you can't see in the frame. I might even start with my shofar this morning. Neighbors love this, I'm sure. Much better than a rooster. I guess I just did a little announcement for fun. And it's part of the weave. Someone told me that the smaller they are, the more powerful they are. So I have a little shofar. And I just blew it. Made from a ram's horn. Isn't that interesting? We can blow through a horn. Is that why they call it a horn? Because it's made from a horn? Probably. I think I'll start by putting my armor on too. After I have a little communion. So I'm going to take a little piece of that granola. Just a tiny one. Representing the body of Christ that was broken for me. So there's that. If you don't have a communion, you can take it right from the center there. Usually is it a shape like my cracker, but this morning I've got granola. It's the body that was broken for us. It's what gives us the power. It's what gave us the key to the kingdom. That cross is shaped like a key. Brings us to that crossroads where we make the decision whether or not we're going to go in through the blood of Yeshua. It's like the gateway. It's the birth. Water and blood came from his side after he died. It was like a birthing from his side. Eve was kind of birthed from Adam's side. Most humans are not birthed from the side, but the church was birthed from the side. And the church is all of the humans in the world that are living stones. These are fun, interesting things to play with. That's why I took these little rocks. Ronnie gave me a necklace a couple of years ago, and it had a whole bunch of rocks with it that I could put inside the necklace. I liked it because I could make it match my outfits. But I guess those rocks symbolized other things too. Some people say chakras. I like to make them into armor. So that's my shoes of peace. The yellow is truth, wide belt of truth. We put our feet on the earth, so that's also earth element, water element. Oh, that's the yellow one. I need the orange one. The orange one is the water element. We saw it yesterday when the sun was rising. The sun shines through the water, and you get a sunrise or sunset colors. I like to think of it as the true color of the water, because that's when it's the most beautiful and glorious. And that is wide belt of truth. Got some water behind me too. So water element. Fire element is yellow. That one's easy to see, very much like the sun. And that's our shield of faith and the will of the Father. That's the fire element. And then the wind element is green, like the trees. We get our life from the tree of life. Christ died on a tree on the cross. It's what brought us life. Every breath, oxygen is like the most essential thing, the wind element, the breath in our lungs. You take my oxygen away, I'm going to die really quickly. So it's essential to life. And it's right here where I'm settled, right in my heart, my wings or my lungs, or right around my heart. Look how it's falling nicely right here in the middle at the heart. So that's like the trees, and their leaves are green and the grass is green. We get our breath. So that's the wind element, the air. And it's our breastplate of righteousness. And then I have the blue, that is the ether, like all that sky that's up there. Only a few wisps of clouds up there this morning. Mine has the blue and white on my rock. Almost like has little bitty clouds in it. It's kind of hard to see. Need a little bit more light this morning. Come on up, son. So that's the blue. That's the ether. That's how we listen to God. Right now you're listening to me through the man-made ether, the internet. Use Ethernet cards and Ethernet wires, and see, it's ether. I wonder if they named it that on purpose. But we get still. Now to get into the higher ether, up above, we'll say above, but it's really all around because the earth is round. So it's every direction, so it's really out more than up. But from where I sit, it feels like up. I always think, I wonder if those little caps that the Hebrews have on their head, it was like a lid. I can take it out. Sometimes I pretend to take mine off. And I shoot a little laser beam right out of the top of my head, right up my spine, and right out of the top of my head. That's fun, isn't it? And I feel like I connect with God that way because my spirit is seated with Christ in the heavenlies. And of course, I've also got to put on my, I gotta find this other rock. Here it is, down in my little box here. This is the purple one. It's kind of royal priesthood. And I put my helmet of salvation on because I don't want to listen to the ether through, down below in the man-made ether, the words of man. But I want to put my helmet of salvation on my head and get into, crown goes there too, on the head. But Jesus Christ is my head. And that doesn't mean he controls me. It means he nourishes me. That's why we take communion. His body is broken for us. He's a servant leader. So of course, him being a head is not a controlling thing. It's a nourishing thing. And when we take his body into our body, and we do that so consciously, making our communion his body, coming into me in his blood, coming into me. Blood is a symbol of life. It's like my shirt here. Red. Blood. That's earth. That's life. And then the water separated from the blood. In the blood, the little cells float around in the waters. It's like a river flowing through our veins. So Jesus is the living water that we drink. We eat his flesh, we drink his blood. Those are kind of brutal sounding symbols, really. Not so fun sounding. But lunch is fun. Breakfast is fun. We make communion fun. Because fun is joy. It's laughter. He came to bring us life so we'd have it abundantly. Yesterday I talked about watching that movie, and it was about Civil War, and it was brutal, and it was about the press and all the things that they saw. It was really horrific, actually, and I had to flip it. I started off the weave in the morning looking at the glorious sunrise, and the gray clouds rolled in, because we have that in our life. Sometimes there's chaos, there's worry, so we need to bring the fun in the midst of the chaos. We need to be people who sing when we're imprisoned, like Paul and Silas. We need to be peculiar. We're the fun people. So I'm weaving on fun. I'm weaving on joy, really, because we have a peace that passes understanding, because we're wearing the helmet. And so we're not going on what we see with these eyes, what we hear with these ears, not with the words of man through the man-made ether, but with the higher words. We have this helmet that brings input into these temples made of all these elements. And so when we put this helmet on, we might put a tallit on our head, or a kippah, or I do it through weaving. I couldn't afford a tallit when I went to Israel. They were like hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars for, all the threads had been prayed over, and I wanted something when I went to Israel. So when I was at in Sufat, and we went to the Canaan Gallery, I bought this. It was the smallest thing they had, and I could afford it. But each of these threads was prayed over. So this is my prayer weaving pouch, and I put these cards in it, and my Hebrew letter cards. And someday I'm going to fill this little pouch with my very own cards. My daughter-in-law will help me make. She'll help me make the graphics to make the cards. But it's kind of fun. Yeah. Fun way of praying. Replacing things. Because I'm trying to get into my spirit. Because we're coming to the end of the age. 7 ages. Coming up to the 7th, the age of rest. 1,000 years coming up. Jesus will be in the earth, ruling in the earth. And we'll have this glorious age of rest and abundance. And it's going to be a lot of fun. That's what we're coming up on. Of course, the earth is going to shake, and there will be wars and rumors of wars, and not a lot of fun, really. But we're a people, a peculiar people, just like my crazy weaving here, my blowing of my shofar, my using of these cards, walking through the elements. I think I just did. This one corresponds with the red rock. This one corresponds with the truth, the water, the fire, the yellow. This one's the wind, goes with the green rock. This one's the ether, goes with the blue rock. And this one, communion, goes with the helmet of salvation, the purple rock. And I don't have a card for this one. It's invisible. Isn't that fun? Because I am seated with Christ in the heavenly realms. Colors that I can't see. I can't assign a color to it because I've never seen it. So it's clear like this rock is. I can't see those colors. We might even use white, like the clouds, to symbolize it. That's a lot of fun. So we eat from the tree of life. That makes a great communion. We didn't do that, Adam and Eve, at the beginning, but we're doing it now. Because Jesus came. This is a little bit more familiar symbol to most people. And he died on a cross. By his stripes we were healed. It was not a fun day. He did this. He suffered and he died. The creator of the universe came in the flesh, in a human body, the body of Yeshua, Jesus. And he shed his blood. And he broke his body for us. Broke it. This is my body. Take it and eat it. They're having a Passover supper. I'm using chocolate granola because it's fun. It's my communion this morning. And I'm weaving for fun. I'm praying for fun. Even in the midst of chaos and worry, we're a peculiar people. So that's what my weave is on this morning. And my cup that runs over, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. My cup runs over because of what he did for us. And I can sit here this morning at this table, and I can sit under the clouds. Maybe I need to take that. It's like the ether, the higher ether. I'm listening from there. Might do a little bit of meditation as you're praying. Do an exchange. Do some listening. You can listen to a teaching on YouTube or Facebook or a podcast, or go to a church or a meeting of some type. And truth will come out of people. And when you hear it, grab a hold of it. Take what you like, leave the rest. Look for the truth. God weaves everywhere, in movies and books. He'll even use people that have gone dark to get some of his truth out into the world. We've got to discern it. We just need to have a little bit more fun in our world, in our life. Sometimes things aren't so fun. So we need to be the fun. So we want to attract people to this glorious message, this good news. Good news is fun. We're eternal beings. We have hope. We have faith. Faith. We have a faith rock that I like to use. It's in my little box. You can't see through it. It's the same color as this rock right here. And in scripture, this used to make me so angry. It wasn't very fun. It said, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things that we can't see. And here's this rock that I can't see through, right? I can't see through it. It seems to be very solid. It's kind of a mysterious, fun rock. Because the reality is, not this side, look, you can see right through it. How does it do that? This is my faith rock. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things that you can't see. Not fun. It's kind of silly, isn't it? It's my faith rock. There's other dimensions. There's other spaces. The space that Jesus stepped out of to be with us became flesh. Maybe it's an interdimensional rock that I have here. It's fun. That's my faith rock. Boop. I'll set that down. I'll have another little bite of communion. As I come to the end of this weave about fun, I'm weaving for fun. Maybe you'll see some things today as you go about your day, because we want to make our lives a prayer, our lives a weave. As we go down the road, as we wake up in the morning, maybe I'll turn my camera around. Take this bite. I'll let you see what I see. Pretty glorious this morning. I have a fairly nice backyard. Here comes the wind blowing. Holy Spirit. I'm going to have another sip of my life is a series of 1,000 tiny miracles. And I think I'll end my weave here with those lovely clouds and a big sip of my coffee. And the birds singing. And just having a bit of fun. Might have to do a weave from my kayak. That could be fun too, couldn't it? But we'll end it there. We'll end the weave there. Grab a hold of the trees, grab a hold of the flowers. Watch the clouds roll by. No matter what is going on in your world, the sun is always coming up every day. The grass breaks through, the flowers break the ground, break the chaos. Peculiar people. We can laugh, we can have fun, no matter what. So be it. Love, 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 love.